12 road bridges, 1 railway bridge, and 3 pedestrian bridges. 2 of them are named after writers. The white modern one you see on the right is the James Joyce Bridge. The next bridge you see is the oldest bridge in Dublin. It is called Mellows Bridge and was built in 1768. Originally named Queen's Bridge, it was renamed in 1942 to honour Liam Mellows, who was executed without trial during the Irish Civil War in 1922. The Civil War was one of the darkest times in Irish history, where many families were divided. The next stop is stop number 15 for Smithfield Square, the old Jameson Distillery.
As a Galilean boy, he wondered what in heaven, who invented such a joy, but the question got the better of his scientific mind, and to his blind and dying gaze, he looked up high and often sighed, and sometimes cried, dreamt of someone so divine.
The forecourt that we will be passing on our left was originally constructed between 1786 and 1796. During the 1916 Rising, it was taken over by the rebels led by Ned Daly, and though much of the fiercest fighting was around this area, the building was largely undamaged. However, in 1922, after the War of Independence, when Ireland gained freedom from Britain, it was not long before opinions, and indeed the government, split. Members of the anti-treaty IRA occupied the building in April, and the opposing Free State Army in Ireland had begun. Across the river to the right, you will see a large modern building, which is the Dublin City Council offices. It is built on an area known as Wood. It was the site of one of the earliest Viking settlements in Dublin. Between 1974 and 1981, during the excavation of the area prior to the building, they uncovered one of the most significant and well-preserved Viking settlements in Europe. Despite widespread protests, they continued with their plans, and they built the building you see before you now, before the site could be fully excavated. As you can imagine, the loss of this significant Viking site is still a point of annoyance for many Dubliners. Ahead, you will see an arched white footbridge known as the Haven Bridge. It is one of the images most associated with this fair city. It's on millions of postcards and in pretty much every montage of Dublin ever made. Called the Havenly Bridge because it used to be a toll bridge and cost 1.5 penny to cross. On the other side of the bridge is an entrance to Temple Bar, a hub of activity that every tourist must see. Aside from its many great pubs and restaurants, you will also find a fantastic Irish rock and roll museum experience. Music lovers can get a guided tour, studios and tons of info and memorabilia from bands such as U2, and Rory Gallagher. The Rock and Roll Museum is not to be missed. Temple Bar also caters to those with an interest in film, be that still pictures or movie. For still pictures, you can visit the gallery of photography. And
ശരി
very close
ഇപ്പൊ
to
ഞാൻ
that,
പറഞ്ഞ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ
the Irish Film Institute, which shows independent cinema, has a cafe where many budding filmmakers meet, and there's a store that has an abundance of Irish frames for
ട്രെയിനിൽ
your
കാണിച്ചു
purchase.
കാണാം
If you
തീരുവണ്ടി
are trying to hunt down a rare Irish film, that's your best bet. The next stop is stop number 16, Bachelor's Walk, for Temple Bar and the Irish Rock and Roll Museum experience.
Tis the right, sit don't cry, mother, till every tear will is good. I sell my rock, I sell my reel, I sell my own peace will to buy my
If you look ahead to your right, you will see O'Connell Bridge, which, rather surprisingly, connects to O'Connell Street. Before Ireland had its independence and it started reclaiming place names, the street used to be called Sackville Street, the bridge Carlisle Bridge. The bridge also used to be much narrower, until the 1880s when it was widened to match O'Connell Street. It is rumoured that the bridge is as wide as it is long, and actually is square, but I'm afraid that's incorrect. It is actually wider than it is long. It spans 45 metres across the middle and is 50 metres wide. O'Connell Street, which we will turn onto next, is and has been Dublin's main thoroughfare for centuries, though it's been through many changes. The most significant of which was during the 1960 Rising. The rebels took the General Post Office on O'Connell Street as their main headquarters, making what was one of the most decadent streets in the world a prime entirely for shelling people unshelled know that it positioned itself and maybe beside us. The large stone building ahead on your left is the General Post Office.